Welcome to St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Macon, Georgia. We're approaching the season of Advent, a wonderful time of anticipation and hope that is the 4 weeks up to Christmas. A wonderful tradition in the Episcopal Church and in other faiths is having an Advent wreath. Many churches have an Advent wreath inside the church, but it's a wonderful family project for you to do at home, where every Sunday you will light another candle for the 4 Sundays of Advent up until Christmas. Making an Advent wreath does not have to be a difficult thing. It can be easy and a fun family project. You won't need very many materials. You'll need an Advent wreath form, a bowl to arrange in, and Oasis, which is a floral foam that you soak in water, and that will keep your greens nice because they'll need to last for an entire month. You'll need a set of Advent candles, and we are using today the purple and the rose color candles, but we'll show you another one in a few minutes that uses blue candles because blue is becoming, as the color of Mary, more and more used in the Advent season. All of these things are readily available at any hobby store, craft store, floral supply place, and on many sources online. You'll also need greenery. What we have done, these are all things that I have cut out of my own yard, and my bushes always need trimming this time of year for decorating the church and for making Advent wreaths. When you select your greens, you'll want to look for things that are a thicker leaf and glossy, like these magnolia leaves, these boxwood, and the preferred greenery for Advent wreaths is English holly with or without berries on it. Tradition has developed over the years that the holly represents the prickly leaves, and be careful when using them because they will stick you, represent the crown of thorns, and the berries represent the blood of Christ. There are no firm traditions on this. The first Advent wreath was made by a Lutheran pastor in Germany in 1839 who was working in an orphanage. But many traditions have developed after that, and there are different traditions in different faiths in different parts of the world. So let's get started on making our wreath. You'll want to place your candles first because as you arrange your greenery, you will want to make sure that you have room to have the wreath around it. We start out with a purple candle, which is the candle of hope. And these don't seem to want to be cooperating, but we'll fix those later. The second purple candle is the candle of faith. The third rose candle, to be lit on the third Sunday, is the candle of joy. And the fourth purple candle is the candle of peace. Many people, but not necessarily, will add in the center of their wreath on Christmas Day a white candle for Christmas. So this is going to be a little bit more formal wreath, but it's still easy to do. We're going to start out with a ring of magnolia leaves around the bottom. You simply press them in to the foam until we get all the way around the bottom of the wreath. And these also, they make lovely centerpieces on your dining room table. And you can also add other things, like you'll see in our demonstration, or the one that I've already done, things like rosemary, which I cut out of my herb garden. That's a symbol of remembrance. You can also use Eastern red cedar, which is a close relative to trees that grow in the Holy Land, that has a wonderful fragrance for it. So we have our outer ring of the magnolia, and now we're going to do a ring of boxwoods. You'll want to snip off the end of the stems at an angle, because that is going to allow the greenery to soak up more water as we go through the next month. When we talk about traditions, like with the holly representing the crown of thorns, we need to look at there's so many traditions in the church that really come with no reason, such as there are many people who believe that dogwood trees have very twisted, gnarly forms on their trunks because Jesus was crucified on a tree or on a cross made with dogwood. It's a nice thought. However, there are no dogwood trees in the Holy Land. You'll also want to strip off the few bottom leaves so you have the plain stem to go into your oasis. This is the design for the traditional wreath that I always do every year for my family. And every time I think of changing things, I get complaints. So this one will go home on my dining room table, and everybody will be happy that traditions have been maintained. Even though we don't have to adhere all the time to traditions, at this time of year, and in the culture we are living in now, sometimes it's very good to have those old traditions that we have always done that bring us comfort and some peace in these times. Yeah, we're getting close to being done with our boxwoods, and then we'll move on to our holly. I've done this so many times that I know exactly how many greens I need. You will probably need, when you're cutting the greens in your own yard, or if you want to use things out of a neighbor's yard, please ask them first. But basically, if you get 2 regular grocery sacks full of leaves and greenery, you will have enough to complete your wreath. Now you'll want to make sure that you don't get your wreath too tall, because the candles will burn down, and the first candle, after being lit for 4 Sundays, is going to be down pretty far. So we're going to want to keep this lower. On these, if you're cutting the holly this time of year, your berries may not have turned completely red yet, but they will within a matter of days. So these are a bit orange right now, but they'll be fine in a few weeks. And the first Sunday of Advent is November 29th. It comes very early this year. So you have plenty of time for these to all turn red. There are also prayers that come every Sunday in Advent for the lighting of the Advent candles, and you can find a link to those on our website, so that when you light the candles every Sunday, you can have a special time of prayer with your family. And here we have it. Easy, simple, fun to do, and a tradition that we enjoy and hope you will as well.